7th, DJ Flick. 8th, Justin Nieves is in 8th. Colton Gardner is in 9th. And Andrew Hewitt. You can score a point. Let's take a look at our calendar. I mentioned that this is the second to last round. Next week, we are at Daytona, which will be on a sped-up time as well. So we'll be able to go through all the day and night cycle, which is going to be super fun. But even more fun is our amazing event we've got coming up. It's the AFSP 200 on September 16th. The registration for this event is open already on frracingonline.com/AFSP 200. And if you need to know a little bit about it, it is a NASCAR Next Gen Cup in a fixed setup for 100 laps, broadcasted here on Stadium Scene TV. We are obviously doing it for an amazing cause, for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and with a $20 minimum donation fee to enter. All of that funds that we raise will be donated straight to AFSP, which is going to be just super, super cool for us to do. I'm really, really excited for it. Another thing I'm very excited for is this week here at Stadium Scene TV on our fun friends with House of Hockey. This week's episode of House of Hockey, we've got Breezy and Ray discussing the NHL Stanley Cup final between the Vegas Golden Knights and Florida Panthers as the Knights dominate the Panthers with a 3-1 series lead. Breezy's mad about it because the Knights are stacked with talent and the Panthers don't have a fully healthy Matthew Tkachuk. Ray is all about Panthers head coach Paul Maurice and his post-game pressers. They chat about whether it's taboo for players to talk about Stanley Cup celebrations before actually winning, along with who's hotter, Tom Brady or Henrik Lundqvist. I think you know who wins that one. It's at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on Thursday here at Stadium Scene TV. It's going to be a great time. And speaking of a great time, I think we should go ahead and take a look at our drivers here on the grid right now. We got them all lined up on the grid, getting ready to go racing here today with Hunter Hughes qualifying on pole with a great lap. He did an awesome job. Sorry, excuse me. Ian Miller qualifying on pole with a 1 minute 22.1 second lap. That was beautiful, beautiful lap for him. Second place to Mr. Hunter Hughes. Third to Mark Vickers. Fourth to Tyler Vickery. Fifth to Brian McKinney. And sixth to Eric Richardson. Let's see exactly how this race is going to shake out. I foresee some fun racing here tonight. Personally, I think it's going to be a blast with obviously all these cars out here getting ready to go racing. We do have a new car entering here in the GT3s for the first time. It is the Porsche 911 GT3 992. You will see there are a few people out there driving the new Porsche. The old Porsche has been phased out of official iRacing sessions and is no longer going to be supported as a car because this new Porsche is something special. It is an absolute gift from the iRacing gods. They really did us proud with this one. If you haven't gotten a chance to get your hands on that car and give it a little whirl around, it's a blast. You can see a little Rexy right there, the green T-Rex car of, it looks like Mr. Is that? No way. Who's driving the Porsche? Is that Ian Miller? Oh, yes. I hope he is. I think he is. No, Ian Miller's in the Mercedes again. Yep, it's Hunter Hughes. Of course it's Hunter Hughes. What could I have ever expected? Hunter Hughes in the Rexy Porsche, looking absolutely gorgeous. Rexy, by the way, was a livery that was used at Le Mans this past weekend, for those of you guys that are Le Mans fans. It did actually decently well. It's a very popular livery here in the United States as well, so they went ahead and shipped that livery across the pond, as well as they did the car. Now, this track, like I mentioned, is quite a difficult track for GT cars, and the biggest reason why is because although the track is relatively flat, there's a lot of elevation change, but there's not a lot of camber associated with that elevation change. You'll find a lot of tracks that have a lot of this elevation change, this up and downy movement. There's going to be camber to assist you going up and down some of these corners. This track is not one of those at all. This one absolutely makes you really focus on how to get the most out of your car when it comes to a flat track with you know, the elevation change. So expect to see some moments here and there for some of these drivers. The biggest scary spot is definitely going to be turn 3 and 4 relatively early on after the big long straight. It's very hard to brake and get into those corners. We're about to go racing, everybody. Get ready for those green lights. The lights are almost on. In fact, we've got some people going in. It's go, go, go here for Wednesday Night Dash. We got a really good launch for our leader, Mr. Ian Miller, absolutely flying off the line. Hunter Hughes coming home in second right now. Mark Vicker sitting up in third, but side by side with Tyler Vickery as they go into turn 1. Tyler Vickery and Mark Vickers. They come out just fine unscathed from each other. Coming out of turn 1. Behind Tyler Vickery is Brian McKinney, then Eric Richardson, and then DJ Flick running out the back. As of right now, those are our 7 driving here tonight. DJ Flick, you can see as he comes down the hill right there at the back. He is also in the brand new Porsche. I love his choice. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous car. And as we are coming around the first little bit of the lap, let's go ahead and take a look at our leaders, Mr. Ian Miller and, of course, Hunter Hughes up the front. You can see them coming over the corner, turn 8, and into turn 9 right there into that little kink. They're doing a pretty solid job right here. Ian Miller diving deep into turn 10. That corner is definitely hard to get the entry into, and the exit is impaired right here over this blind left-hander, which is turn 11. It's definitely sketchy, and then a hard braking zone into turn 12. This is another corner which might catch some people out. Not so much into spins, but more so going off into that grass exit on the outside right there. If you do touch that exit right there, it is bye-bye, Miss American Pie. You are done for the day almost every single time. Luckily enough, though, it is relatively close to the pit lane, so if you did have to take a tow back to the pits, it's not a long tow. If you don't have to take a tow, it's a relatively quick drive back over to the pits. We do have a car, actually, looks like spun out at the very back. It could be DJ Fluck. Oh, no, it was. In fact, was it exactly the spot that I mentioned? Look at that. Unfortunately, DJ Fluck, he's coming over that corner. And just a little bit sideways right there. Yeah, that'll do it. Very unfortunate for DJ Fluck. We'll go back up to the front here with Ian Miller, holding a commanding lead already over Mark Vickers and Hunter Hughes. Hunter Hughes dropping down drastically. Not exactly sure what happened to Hunter right here. He's now down sitting in 3rd behind Mark Vickers, who obviously, as we know, is chasing down a championship right now. If Mark Vickers was to finish 1st here tonight, it is absolutely guaranteed that he will win the championship. He is almost mathematically guaranteed to win the championship, I believe, if he gets 5th or higher, regardless of what 2nd and 3rd do, as they are exactly tied right now. We'd have to do a count back to see exactly who is 2nd and 3rd between those two. Those two being, of course, Ian Miller and Hunter Hughes. Crazy how this season has really been these top 3 quite dominant from start to finish. And then everybody else just doing their best to kind of catch up with each other. We'll catch up with them, really. A really good corner right there for Hunter Hughes. Could see him putting a challenge on Mark Vickers in the next couple corners. The gap is small. It's just over a second. Hard dive into turn 1 they go. Uses all the curb he can on the entry into it. Stays on the inside curve. Very smart right there for Hunter Hughes and washes out wide for the exit. Tyler Vickery looking a little bit unsteady behind him. If he does not look like his normal confident self with his pace. This, I think, was a spot where Hunter Hughes maybe had a little bit of a moment what dropped him down into 3rd. Looks like he handles that corner very well, though, this time around. I will say that Porsche has an absolutely gorgeous sound. It's probably my favorite sound in the GT3 lineup right now. Look at the way he handles that turn over turn 7 and 8 right there. That compounding left-hander, really difficult for most people, but it seems like he handles it with ease. He's now right up at the tailpipes of Mark Vickers. Hunter Hughes going to look for a move probably in the next couple corners. I think he needs to get a move on and get ahead of him so he can start chasing down the leader of Ian Miller, who might be in danger relatively soon. For sure, though, Mark Vickers is in danger as Hunter Hughes is absolutely chasing him down. Right behind him. Look at that. And in fact, I think I heard Mark Vickers just saying, "I've got no pace," and I quote. And he's basically going to let him through. So watch Hunter Hughes about to get past with no effort whatsoever. There he is. He's going to be unleashed. The T-Rex has been unleashed on the leader of Ian Miller. Ian Miller going to be shaking in his britches right now, hearing that call out from Mark Vickers. I would be for sure if I was Ian Miller. I would hear, "Oh, Mark Vickers is conceding his pace." Hunter Hughes must be on a heater right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at our friends a little bit farther down in 4th and 5th and 6th place, fighting it out for position. That's Brian McKinney and Eric Richardson giving it everything they've got going into turn 1. Good approach right there from Brian McKinney. He's going to have a better exit, almost certainly, over the zebra tiger livery. Not a zebra, a tiger livery of Mr. Eric Richardson right in front of him. Deep diving into that difficult spot, turns 3 and 4, like I mentioned at the beginning of this race. This is a spot where, you know, we could see people get a little bit too aggressive on the brakes. It looks like that's going to be Brian McKinney potentially making an inside move. No, not going to stick. Eric Richardson was able to hold him off, but only just. I'm sure he is. He's definitely worried about the very apparent pace, especially under braking, that his Ferrari counterpart of Brian McKinney has right behind him. Every single driver in one of 4 cars tonight, which is actually quite a bit of vehicle representation for the night. We got Ferraris, Mercedes, and Porsches, and it looks like my my overlay actually isn't even able to show you guys that we have Porsches on track. I just realized that it likely has not updated from the new cars. So I'm going to fill you in on exactly what's going on right here. As the beauty of having new cars come out is that software doesn't always catch up. Ian Miller, sitting in first place right now, is in the Mercedes, as we see. Second place is not Tyler Vickery. It's actually Hunter Hughes. Hunter Hughes, as we know, right here in the 16 car right behind. He's decently far behind, but he is there. You can see right there, it's a blue color, which is very interesting that it's labeled as blue. It actually doesn't quite sound like the normal Porsche. Interesting that's given it a new color. But it's definitely not a different class. That's very interesting. The reason why you guys don't see them on the overlay, that I'm just now realizing, is that my software seems to think that this means that they are different classes, and that is definitely not the case. Let me go ahead and do a quick thing and see if this makes a difference. Does not. So Hunter Hughes right now sits in second right here. Tyler Vickery actually is one who's sitting in third. He's doing a pretty good job right here, holding it down. Fourth place is actually Mark Vickers. Fifth is Brian McKinney. Sixth is DJ Fluck. And seventh is Eric Richardson. So as of right now, it looks like there's just 2 cars that are missing. It's the 2 Porsches. That new Porsche, it's really trying to make a statement with how good of a car it is. Not only is it a great car, it's also great at not showing up on overlays. Ain't that fun? Well, speaking of fun, I'm sure these drivers are all having a good time around this track. This roller coaster ride of 14 corners and 2 miles is absolutely just, it's a peach to drive around. Especially this corner right here. You can see Tyler Vickery washing out a little bit wide right there, catching some understeer in that McLaren. Catches it well, but definitely not exactly the steering angle that he was looking for. As he went through that corner, he's going to handle the S right here, going uphill into turn 7 and 8, the double left-hander. Quite fine. Coming down to the kink of turn 9 right here. You can go flat out for that kink right there. Down, hard braking into turn 10. You're going to be pretty hard on those front brakes, so watch out for some understeer washout and if a rear lockup quite potentially as well. We might see one of those here and there, though. All these drivers should be running with ABS, so I doubt we'll see any big lockups, but we definitely will see the ABS firing around that corner a couple times. Ooh, a little bit of squirrely right there for Tyler Vickery on the exit, but he handles it fine. He's back up to pace. He's being chased down, though. It looks like Mark Vickers is right up on his tail. Really close to him. Very, very, very close to him. There's Tyler Vickery going super wide. Washing out at the end of this lap. So Tyler's having a pretty good race. Obviously, the one who's really having the best race is Ian Miller. He's absolutely flying at the front of this pack. Last lap, to give you guys a little bit of a lap delta data, he was 1.05 seconds faster than second place last lap alone. So he's hitting it just fine. He's got great pace here tonight. McLaren and Tyler Lugo victory. He's doing a good job. But again, Mark Vickers is right up on his tail. Like, I don't know how long it's going to last. Look at that delta right there. It's very small. It's only about 0.8 of a second right here. So they're right up on each other. This could change any minute now. Now down at a different spot, I definitely want to go ahead and take a look at DJ Fluck. It looks like he's in a little bit of a battle right here with his friend Eric Richardson. They are right next to each other on track, and then we're fighting for position. Ooh, actually, in fact, I think I see a little bit of action right there between second and third place. Tyler Vickery looks like he's in the wall. Hold on a second. What happened here? Tyler Vickery toes the pits. Oh no, Tyler Vickery may be entirely out of this one. No way. Oh, goes super wide, it looks like, as he's coming out of this corner. Let's go ahead and actually get a better angle right here. You can see he goes super wide right there. And he touched the grass right there, and that's going to be it. Oh, huge crash for Tyler Vickery. He is out of this race. Only on lap... Oh, my. He's on, like, lap number 8. Lap 8. Oh, poor guy. And he's done and dusted for the night. So now Mark Vickers, who sits in second, is going to have absolutely no competition. Tyler Vickery, you know, like I mentioned, I think he's towing.
I have no idea how I saved that.
No, he shouldn't be towing, actually. I think he's just done. Very unfortunate for Tyler Vickery. Right now, DJ Flick, though, is actually at risk of being lapped already on lap 8. Ian Miller is right behind him and does now, in fact, get in front of him. Ian Miller is putting on a clinic tonight. He is absolutely flying. So he comes over turn 1, gets over the curb, into turn 2, way over that curb, and that long right-hander. It's looking fresh. In fact, he's looking to lap another person. Looks like Ian Miller is right up on the back of Eric Richardson as well. Yeah. The Tiger car getting lapped as well. So Ian Miller has now lapped 2 drivers already. He's lapped a third of the field that's left. Wow, wow, wow. Now that just shows you the level that Ian Miller is on. He is seriously just on something different these days. It's so impressive to see. Now, obviously, we've got Hunter Hughes, who's also catching up to the group right there. You can see him right here, just behind, as Rexy comes over the corner. And we saw DJ Flick's car, actually. You can see it just barely in view. So Hunter Hughes is chasing them down, too. He should be able to get the lap done probably during this next lap right here. Yeah.
I'm going to stay over to the left here.
There it goes. DJ Flex can let him go. Hunter Hughes will get through. He will now be a lap ahead as well. Wow, that's crazy. The absolute, you know, exceptional pace from these 2 top guys is something special here tonight. They are really, really putting down a clinic. Hunter Hughes and Ian Miller, they are our stars. No surprise, though. Mark Vickers, though, sits in third. And even with him being in third, I think if he was to finish here in third, he would still have the championship locked down. So he doesn't really need to press too hard. He just needs to finish tonight. I think he knows that. He's keeping it nice and easy, not trying to go too hard. You know, just cruise the finish line. That's all you got to do here tonight. He's only got 30 more minutes of it, too. So he's really... You just got to put in the laps and stay calm, cool, collected, and he'll have a championship in the bag.
I'll stay over to the right.
If he does have the championship in the bag, do we see him make a surprise car change for Daytona? That would be interesting. Maybe he picks up the Porsche. I will say, this Porsche is an exceptionally good car. It's very good, the one that Hunter Hughes is driving right here. Probably the best GT3 car that's been released in quite some time. It handles so phenomenally well, even on a fixed setup like we've got here. It really feels quite planted. It does understeer a little bit, but overall, it's, I would argue, probably the best. The best GT3 car that's been made in a really long time. Absolutely exceptional car. So Hunter Hughes making the most out of the new machine. Right now, holding down a comfy second place with a big lead over third. 10 seconds between himself and third place. Or sorry, 5 seconds. Mark Vickers, though, definitely is catching up. He's not totally out of the woods. See him right there. Also now passing the driver of Eric Richardson. Let's go ahead and take a look at our friend, Mr. Ian Miller, who's holding down the lead at the front quite convincingly in that Vodafone Mercedes. Classic livery, classic result. It's holding down P1 at this current moment. Is what Ian Miller's got. And there's a reason why he's he's done so well this year, or this season, excuse me. He's just pretty darn consistent. He's had a couple little mistakes here and there, but overall, he's been doing a great job. Really, really, really good job. Look at that gap. You can see it in the bottom right corner, the size of the gap between the two drivers. He's coming through the S's right there. Wow, the amount of pace that he has over second place is just huge. Second place is just barely coming out of turn 4. Third is barely coming into turn 4. And fourth is barely coming into turn 4 right now. However, first through fourth, actually not too far away from each other. Brian McKinney is that guy in fourth right there. The 8 car right here. There he goes. He's flying. Eric Richards. So actually, sorry, I just realized I was reading stuff wrong. Brian McKinney is kind of a no man's land. Excuse me. He's that car in the bottom right, the bottom left corner of the track. He's actually at risk of getting lapped pretty soon too. Oh my gosh! If he gets lapped, the top 3 drivers are the only drivers that are on the lead lap. Wow, wow, wow. Now, it does not look like, regardless of what happens, you know, minus big crash or something like that, I don't think Ian Miller has the pace to lap 2nd and 3rd. But 4th and down would be an absolute domination of race. Holy smoke-a-roly. He's really putting down the heat tonight. We do have a driver in the pits, looks like. Looks like it might be DJ Fluck. He's in the pits, getting some new tires. Maybe fueling up a little bit. Maybe potentially repairing his car. He's out of the pits. Rolling back on that new Porsche. Back to the leader, Ian Miller. Chasing down 3rd place right here. I'm sure this would feel so good to him if he could lap up 3rd place. That'd be absolutely unreal.
Slowdowns are killing me.
Sounds like some people are getting some slowdowns. That is one of the biggest problems about this track, is it's very, very, very easy to catch a slowdown. So you got to be careful, especially in those S's. That turns 5 through 7, really common to catch a slowdown, and also turn 10 in the back. Turn 12. Excuse me, very easy to catch a slowdown as well. So those 2 spots, drivers have to be extra careful about. We're now in the almost at the halfway point. So about 2 more laps will be effectively at that halfway point. If Ian Miller will have lapped all drivers except for the podium drivers at least once, then he's going to be on track to potentially even double lap some people, which is absolutely insane. He is flying. He's absolutely flying right now. Down deep dive in turn 10. Do you want to go ahead and give some love over to the friends Hunter Hughes and Mark Vickers? They're in a tight little battle. And I wonder exactly what's going on with those two. Mark Vickers not too far out from Hunter Hughes, about 1.5 seconds away. Assuming neither of them make mistakes, I think Hunter Hughes is a little bit slower than Mark Vickers on the pace. I think Mark Vickers is a little bit faster. So we'll see if Mark Vickers can indeed catch up with that slight pace advantage. He said earlier that he thought he didn't really have any pace, but I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at Mark Vickers. I'm seeing he's relatively decent pace. Pace enough to be a champion, you know? He is sitting in the lead for a reason. Sitting in the lead of this championship. Just got to close it out this round. One thing I do also want to point out, Mark Vickers seems like he's driving relatively, for lack of a better term, conservatively. It looks like he's not really pushing the car super hard, which I think actually really is promoted quite a bit at this track. The less that you push this car at this track, especially at this track, the faster you'll go. It is very much so a slow is smooth and smooth is fast kind of racetrack. You've got to be really careful on your throttle and very careful on your brakes. It's really easy to step that rear end out if you're not careful on the brakes. You can see right there, uses all the track on the exit. Mark Vickers looking pretty solid as of right now in that Ray-Nex Ferrari. He's feeling like a winner as of right now, even though he wouldn't, you know, at this rate be winning this race. He's actually pretty far away from winning this race. The leader is so far ahead of Ian Miller. He's absolutely, you know, gone. He's still going to be feeling pretty good. Now, third place right now is Mark Vickers. Fourth place is that car you see on that back straight, on the big straight, the front straight, excuse me. Technically, it would be the back straight right after turn 2 into turn 3. It's just not coming around turn 4. That is the car of Brian McKinney. And technically right now, Hunter Hughes and Mark Vickers are actually close to lapping him. So if they were to lap him, the podium, all 3 podium sitters will have lapped everybody else. That is an insane stat to even think about. That the current podium would then be a full lap ahead. Wow, what disparity. Unfortunate for the rest. But they're going to feel pretty dang good themselves. Their you know, their spot in that potential podium would be very secure at that point. Back in the leader, Mr. Ian Miller. Good corner around the final corner. Really great exit. Looks like he's coming up on DJ Flick. The end of turn 1 right there is where he's at. DJ's in a tough spot. Maybe letting Ian Miller through relatively soon. We shall see. I just kind of want to see him go for a second lapping. That'd be absolutely insane. I would love that. Obviously, I also want to see Mark Vickers take a shot at Hunter Hughes. He is just about 2 seconds out from the new Porsche. Pretty darn close to him, so the move is definitely foreseeable in the next couple laps, assuming that Hunter has some really good ones, or has some really bad ones, and Mark maybe has some really good ones. Liddy only takes a few corners, not even a full lap to make up, 2 seconds if stuff really goes right for you and wrong for your opponent. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, that's Mark Vickers. Oh, my gosh. Mark Vickers has had a big stuffer into the wall. What exactly happened there? It just looked like he kind of lost a little bit of traction. He's going to have to run right into the pits. Luckily enough, it's right there for him, so he just has to accelerate his pit stop and fuel up as much as he can. Oh, my golly gee. Let's take a look. Exactly what happened here to Mark Vickers. Mark Vickers, from a rear chase camera, let's go ahead and we'll get a really good view right here. You can see there's the Porsche of DJ Flick right there on the right side out. Right here, it's going to be a passing move for Rexy in front of him. Oh, and he just lifts the throttle. And that lifting of the throttle while you're turning puts all the weight on the front tires, none on the rear. You're going to have no grip, no downforce, and it's going to spin you out. Bit of a slow anticlimactic one. Smash the front end. Pretty big time. Damage model looks like it's trying to figure out exactly how much he got damaged. And the answer is quite a bit. So Mark Vickers, unfortunately, will run to the pits. And it's not like his championship hopes are at all dashed, because remember how I said that they were almost about to lap third place? They're literally, that was third place that they were, he was basically about to lap as he crashed right there in the second last corner. So he's just fine. He's still holding down third place right here. Plenty fine. It was fourth place, excuse me, they were about to lap. So Mark Vickers still holding down a podium with absolutely no worries whatsoever. The 16 car of Hunter Hughes has now passed up fourth place. So first and second now have lapped all cars except for third. And first has lapped more than everybody. Has lapped some people more than once. First place of Ian Miller, there he is. He's lapped DJ Fluck, unfortunately, one more time. So DJ now. And Eric Richardson, excuse me. Both now 2 laps down. About to be 2 laps down. Eric Richardson, not quite. Wow. Well, I wish I could say that big spin has just thrown a giant wrench in the mix in the championship. But because of how big of a gap that Mark Vickers has pulled out on everybody else, then there's really no change. He stays in the exact same position. As we're cruising here, we're down to just 6 drivers here for the night. And all 6 of them vying for some good points in this championship. Remember, 2nd and 3rd right now between Mark Vickers, or sorry, Ian Miller and Hunter Hughes is on a dead even tie. And as of right now, Ian Miller would take the lead between the 2 of them. Technically, he would close the gap just a little bit to the leader, because of the fact that he's finishing in front. So technically, Ian Miller would still have a shot at said championship, but it's still going to be a bit of a long shot. By finishing 3rd or better, Mark Vickers gives himself a lot of room to feel okay when it comes to his current championship spot. Definitely gives himself a lot of mental security looking at the combined standings, or the total standings, excuse me. We're almost down to the back 3rd of the race right here. We got 17 minutes remaining. Once we hit 15, that'll be the back 3rd of the race. And it's been an Ian Miller show from green lights to where we're at right now. 20 laps of dominance from him so far. Looks like Mark Vickers in the 84 car is actually catching up to Eric Richardson and will get past him. Eric Richardson goes over to the side. Mark Vickers on a heater, and after that little crash, he's trying to go redeem himself. Back over to the Mercedes. Now you can see right here, Ian Miller has a 12-second lead over Hunter Hughes. Hunter Hughes technically has a chance to come back. If he can be a second a lap faster than Ian Miller, he would come back. Do I see that happening? I don't think so. I think that Ian Miller is in such a dialed spot that's going to take a lot for Hunter Hughes to start chipping away at that gap. All the drivers pretty far spread out from each other. The closest gap is actually 14 seconds. That is wild, and that's the gap between Hunter Hughes and Ian Miller. The next closest one is between Eric Richardson and Ian Miller, and Ian Miller is 17 seconds behind, relapping Eric Richardson again. Wow, he's tearing it up. That would put Eric Richardson a full 2 laps down. Just under 15 minutes left to go now. We are at that warning where it's really starting to get down to the business end of the race here tonight. How we're going to pan out and finish out, as of right now, it's looking like it's going to be Ian Miller holding down the top spot, but we shall find out. Right now, the fastest lap of the race is actually held not by Ian Miller, surprisingly enough. I think it might actually be held by Hunter Hughes at 24-7. No, just kidding. It's Mark Vickers. Mark Vickers holding the fastest lap at a 24.288. That's a quick lap. That's a very quick lap whenever he did that one. Actually, that might just be the most recent lap. These, unfortunately, with this new car update, is definitely throwing a little bit of a wrench in the way that these overlays work. So I apologize for any slightly misleading information. Just want to. Unfortunately, sometimes updates to third-party programs are a little bit behind schedule as compared to updates to the main program. Now, the main program, obviously, of the night is not iRacing even. It's really just Ian Miller's just destroying the whole field. He has been clinical from start to finish, and I think as of right now, it's looking like he might be able to close this one out. Now, of course, he does still have just under 10 laps to go, maybe about 10 laps to go, so we shall see if he can indeed close this one out. I heard DJ Fluke talking about how he wanted somebody to go. It looks like it was third place if Mark Vickers has gone through and past DJ, so Mark Vickers kind of in a bit of no man's land. I'm just kidding. It was not Mark Vickers. It was yeah, it was Mark Vickers. Excuse me. It was Mark Vickers. Brian McKinney is just now coming down the turn 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. Going down to the fast right-hander. This double apex turns 2 and 3. Like I said, definitely catches a lot of people out. But looks like it's been pretty kind to a majority of the drivers here tonight. This corner specifically. Obviously, the final corner was not very kind to Tyler Vickery, having crashed himself out right there. But the rest of the track have been relatively kind to people so far. It's been a lot less self-inflicted injuries than I was expecting. That's for sure. As we're coming to the tail end of this race with just a bit over 10 minutes left to go, Ian Miller still holds the lead quite convincingly, just about 30 seconds ahead of the next driver, Hunter Hughes. Looks like he may have just pit recently. He is sitting in second still. Third place right now to Mark Vickers. Fourth place to Brian McKinney. Fifth place to Eric Richardson. And sixth place to DJ Fluke as of right now. Things can still change, of course, but it's looking pretty comfortable for the leader and second place drivers as well. Both of them looking pretty set in their positions, that's for sure. Not a whole lot can touch them, quite potentially. A little bit farther down, we got DJ Fluke, looks like. Might be a bit of a thing right here. Oh, yeah, him and Eric Richardson They're actually not fighting for position, no. Just kidding. DJ Flick was actually unlapping himself. Well, I want to give some love to that sound right there of DJ Flick's Porsche. Listen to the roar of this guy. Let's go ahead and jump to the cockpit view. You can hear the way that this thing sounds. It absolutely screams through the gears, especially once it gets up to like that 4th gear spot, which we're going to hear him go through. Oh, no! I commentary cursed DJ right as I jump on his camera. He has a little spin, has to get out of the way. Unfortunate. I need to not jump in those cockpit cameras. That is such bad timing. Unfortunately, he smacks a little bit into the wall. Oh, DJ, I'm so sorry. That was terrible timing for me to switch cameras. I'm just going to run away from that one. We're going to pretend like that never happened. We're going to jump on Ian Miller, who also has an absolutely incredible sounding car. The Mercedes, that beautiful V8 flying down the track here at Rudskogen, hitting big top speeds down into turns 3 and now 4. That compound right-hander going uphill. Remember how I noticed that remember how I mentioned there wasn't a whole lot of camber? See how there's a little bit of camber on that corner, but it's basically flat right here and still flat here over the hill. Again, another flat corner, almost negative camber. Even harder to keep grip right here, going over turn 8. Turn 9, the kink right there, and then downhill to turn 10. No camber to help you here. Again, basically a totally flat track. You're going to have a little bit of negative camber here going over into turn 11. Negative camber a little bit there, and then definitely negative camber here into turn 12. Uses all the road right there, though. Very smart from Ian Miller. Back on the power early. Into turn 13. And the final sweeping right-hand corner. It's all about the mid-corner on this one. It's balanced throttle, balanced throttle. Ian Miller will be balancing himself into the pits for a quick pit stop with only 7 minutes left to go. He's so far ahead. I wonder if he'll even get unlapped by really DJ. I think he probably will get unlapped by DJ. Or DJ will unlap himself, excuse me. That's what it looks like, but you know, Ian Miller has obviously a long drive to his pit box. He's right up at the front, so could be deceptive. Yep, grabbing a quick old splash. Does not need a whole lot. DJ will be passing him any minute now. The spot between himself and DJ is actually going to be pretty tight. There goes DJ right there. Yeah, it's pretty tight. But he did go ahead and make that pass. I do see a little bit of a tussle there, a little farther down. Oh, yeah. It's Mark Vickers and Hunter Hughes. Hold on a second. Mark Vickers and Hunter Hughes now are straight up battling for position for second place here in the final 6 minutes of the race. Now, if we wanted some action, ladies and gentlemen, we may have had to wait 39 minutes for it, but that does not matter because we've got it now. We got Mark Vickers getting ready to put the attack here down on Hunter Hughes. Holding down the that second place spot right there in the Rexy. Feeling pretty confident. I know both these guys should have pitted already by now. Mark Vickers getting a little bit on the outside right there. Touched some grass. Luckily not spinning. Our dive in turn 3. Mark Vickers. Ooh, good exit out of 4. Into the S's they go. Now, who's going to handle the S's better? I think the Porsche is inherently better suited for it. You can see the hard attack right there from Mark Vickers. He's right up in the back of the Porsche. The Porsche going a little bit slow coming over those corners. Is the Porsche struggling? Mark Vickers going to need to choose his moment carefully. It's a little bit aggressive there. Coming into turn 10. He's really on the tailpipes of the green Porsche. You can see that Mark Vickers is opting to slow down earlier, which is then giving him the ability to go a lot faster mid-corner and on exit. That is what is Mark Vickers' advantage right here, and that's what he's playing on. Remember, Mark Vickers has come back from a spin earlier on where he had to go into the pits early. He's now on very low fuel. His tires are really worn into their optimal wear, I would say. He's looking to make a move as soon as he possibly can. Right now, Hunter Hughes is just on hardcore defense, trying to hold off this attacking Ferrari that is just absolutely chopping at the bits to grab a little piece of Hunter Hughes. Wow, wow, wow. This is exactly how you want a race to end, is it not, ladies and gentlemen? 4 minutes and 34 seconds left to go, and that's a little bit of an inside look right there from Mark Vickers. Does not have it stuck. Again, just looking at the inside, but does not have a way to actually make a move for it. No look there. Nothing to the S's. Yep, he has to back out to the X's. Very smart. Just let him hold it down. Remember, he had the speed advantage right here over this corner last time around when they were here at this corner last lap. Now, this time around, looks like Hunter Hughes not sleeping at the wheel. He is putting down a much better performance in the turn 8-9 compound section. Down into turn 10. Deep right-hander. Hardcore hairpin. It's looking like a pretty good exit for the Ferrari, but a better... Actually, no, it's a better exit for the Ferrari for sure. But a better entry, I think, for that Porsche. Way better exit right here for the Ferrari. Ferrari using all of the track as you need to. Remember, this is the spot that that messed the Ferrari up. That second to last corner, turn 13. So now that he's gotten through his danger zone, he's only got a couple minutes left to make some magic happen and get in front of this Porsche. We could not have asked for a better way to finish this race tonight. And that's going to be a potential look at the inside. Mark Vickers not going to have it quite yet, but was close. Not quite there yet, though. Oh, a bit of an outside look right there from Mark Vickers. Going a little bit wide on entry, but is that going to help him out for his exit? Looks like his mid-corner is really good. Exit strong. Exit's very strong. The Ferrari not there yet still, but you can see the pace advantage that he has over the Porsche. It is so significant, especially in those big high-speed corners. And then right here, it's going to be very significant. The Porsche is obviously significantly slower. They almost tap going into that corner. The Porsche just holding off the Ferrari for dear life. It's good, clean racing, but it's hardcore defending, and that Ferrari must be getting frustrated. I bet you if I was Mark Vickers, I would be screaming and pounding the wheels right now. Just doing my best to get in front of the Porsche, who's definitely, feeling like he's slowing himself down. Mark Vickers needs to remember he's had some problems here at this track already, so he needs to stay away from those problems, not push too hard, and instead just let the race come to him. Looks like he might have an opportunity coming up any minute now. Porsche needs a good exit right here. Ferrari gets a better one, gets pushed alongside just a little bit. They're going to be side-by-side going into turn 1. It might be the Ferrari ahead. No, it's the Porsche ahead. Ferrari going to make a dive into 1. No, he will not. Maybe he will. No, he won't. I thought I saw a look for a second. Ferrari stays behind. We are on white flag conditions here, if I recall correctly. I believe I saw one fly. So with us being now into white flag condition, we're right at the very end of this guy. They're going down to turn 3. Turn 4. Still the same order. Let's go ahead again. Oh, no! It's Mark Vickers making a mistake! Oh, no! That looked like a self-inflicted error as well. Was it just... Oh, he may have actually tapped it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chase. On the brakes. And he does tap it. Oh, unfortunate for Mark Vickers. Has way more speed than the Porsche. And loses out right there. That's going to be the Porsche flying away. And it might be our leader, Mr. Ian Miller, coming home victorious. Wow. What a race. He's got one more lap right here. He is now on the white flag. Everybody else is about to start the white flag. We are on 2 to go right there. Second place is currently Mr. Hunter Hughes with a pretty good gap. He is absolutely flying. Let's go ahead and take a look at Hunter Hughes. We can see the flag, man. He says white flag. Hunter Hughes will be starting his last lap as well. And the third place driver right now of Mark Vickers is going to feel gutted with that mistake where he rear-ended Hunter Hughes. That could have been a pass right there for Mark Vickers. Had he made that pass, the championship would have very certainly been pretty comfortably in his hands. But now he's going to have to do a little bit more work next week at Daytona to hold it down. Ian Miller, of course, though, has done all the work necessary tonight. He has put down an absolute clinic of a show tonight. Coming around the final corner, Ian Miller, miles ahead of the competition, will come home a race winner here tonight across the pond in Rudskogen for the first time in Wednesday Night Dash. We have a European track winner. It's Ian Miller. He's going to be happy about that one. Second place is currently Hunter Hughes. Looks like he's going to hold it down. He has a 3-second gap over Mark Vickers, but it's only 3 seconds. Mark Vickers is closing down that gap pretty quickly. I don't think he's going to have the pace to get it done in this last lap, but Hunter Hughes seems to be pretty weak at the very end of this race. Very slow corner right there for Hunter Hughes as comparatively to the pushing Mark Vickers. Hunter Hughes just going to get it across the line, not caring too much about throwing down the craziest lap times of his life. He just needs to finish, and that is what he will do. Hunter Hughes will come home in second place right here tonight, and third place will go to Mark Vickers right behind. Nice racing from those three. Fourth place was already decided. It's Brian McKinney. Big crash there for Mark Vickers. Brian McKinney got home in fourth. Eric Richardson to fifth. DJ Fluke in sixth. And that is our race here tonight. Wow, what a dominant performance from Ian Miller. Holy smoke-a-rollies. That guy was just absolutely on fire from start to finish. He has a lot to be proud of with how that race went for himself. Just absolutely insane pace for Ian Miller. Hunter Hughes obviously coming home in second, too. He did a great job to minimize mistakes and just stay in his own lane for sure. He did a great job, though. Very, very, very good job. Let's go ahead and pull one of these guys in. Do we have, I'd say, let's talk about Mark Vickers. Is he in here? Well, I mean, overall, like you got some of it back? Because by the end, you were pressuring Hunter.
Yeah, I just started, I mean, slow in, fast out, just try not to do too much, and then I started doing too much.
Consistent, you know,
And best of luck to all 3 of you guys that are here on the podium for next week, because it's gonna be a shootout.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Well, alrighty, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and call it there tonight. That was so much fun, and I know that next week is gonna be even crazier. The fact that we have a very real and tight 3-way battle for the championship going into the final round, I couldn't have scripted it better myself. That is absolutely exceptional. Obviously, thank you so much, everybody, for watching here tonight. My name is Eli, and I am so excited to be bringing you guys here for this amazing race at Rudskogen. It was a blast. Next week to Daytona, we're going to have a lot of fun. And yes, all you guys, be wonderful, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.